Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers willing to trade 4 key players. With the February 6 trade deadline approaching, the Los Angeles Lakers appear poised for another active period in the trade market. The team's recent performance, sitting 8th in the Western Conference with a 13-11 record and losing 7 of their last 10 games, has intensified speculation about potential moves. According to Spotrac's Keith Smith, the Lakers are positioning themselves as buyers at the deadline. Smith reports that while LeBron James and Anthony Davis are considered untouchable, nearly everyone else could be available. This includes Austin Reeves, who was previously thought to be off-limits, along with D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and various minimum contract players. Rookie Dalton Knecht might be the only other player with some protection from trade talks. Los Angeles has tradable salaries, Smith noted. They need to climb the standings. This urgency comes as Rob Pelinka's roster construction since the 2020 championship has failed to produce consistent results, with the team relying on the play-in tournament for playoff qualification in recent seasons. Looking further ahead, The Athletic's Jovan Buha suggests Anthony Davis might seek an exit once James departs. "I wouldn't say it's inconceivable that he asks out," Buha said during a recent YouTube appearance. "If LeBron retires, maybe it is best to rebuild and just keep your picks. But I think if I had to lean one way, I'd probably lean toward AD staying, but I would not be surprised if he asked out." As trade rumors continue to circulate, Pelinka faces the challenge of making moves that address both immediate competitive needs and long-term stability, a balance that has eluded the franchise since their last championship. Let's cut through the noise surrounding Bronny James's NBA journey. While social media obsesses over his offensive struggles, a more nuanced story is emerging, one that suggests the younger James might carve out his NBA niche on the defensive end. Sunday's game against Portland offered a perfect snapshot of Bronny's current NBA reality. In just 3 minutes of garbage time, he went 0-for-2 from the field but delivered a highlight reel block that lit up social media. It's exactly this kind of defensive intensity that hints at his true potential, even as his offensive game remains a work in progress, to say the least. Bronny's offensive numbers have been abysmal. Across all NBA appearances, he's shooting just 12.5% from the field. These aren't the kind of statistics anyone expected from LeBron's heir apparent, and they've led to the predictably negative hot takes we've come to expect from social media. However, focusing solely on scoring misses the bigger picture. Bronny's defensive instincts, his quick feet, active hands, and ability to stay in front of his man, align perfectly with the modern NBA's need for versatile defenders. It's no accident that he's drawn comparisons to defensive specialists like Drew Holiday and Derek White. These aren't just empty compliments, they reflect a growing recognition that Bronny's path to NBA success might look different than many initially imagined. His return to action Sunday versus the Portland Trail Blazers, his first NBA minutes since November 10, showcased both the promise and the challenges confronting the young guard. His spectacular chase-down block reminded everyone of his athletic gifts, while his shooting struggles highlighted the ongoing development he needs on the offensive end. This is the reality of Bronny's rookie season, flashes of brilliance mixed with obvious growing pains. The Lakers' comfortable victory, 107-98, provided the perfect low-pressure environment for Bronny to get his feet wet again after dealing with a foot injury. At 13-11, sitting 8th in the Western Conference, the Lakers have the luxury of bringing him along slowly, letting him develop without the pressure of immediate production. Looking ahead, Bronny's development as a 3-and-D specialist seems increasingly likely. While the 3 part of that equation needs work, his defensive foundation appears solid. In a league where elite defenders like Marcus Smart and Alex Caruso have carved out valuable roles despite limited offensive repertoires, there's a clear path forward for a player with Bronny's defensive instincts. The challenge now is patience, from fans, media, and most importantly, from Bronny himself. Development isn't linear, and these flashes of defensive excellence suggest there's more to this story than current shooting percentages might indicate. Bronny James goes off for career-high 30 points in G-League Lakers loss. Bronny James finally broke out on Thursday, scoring 30 points for the South Bay Lakers in a loss to the Valley Suns. James Jr., who has spent most of the season with the Los Angeles Lakers, was playing his first road game with the team's G-League affiliate. James made 13 of 23 field goals and 3 of 9 three-point attempts. He also 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal and threw down an alley-oop early in the second quarter. James came into the game averaging just 8.7 points in 3 G-League appearances on 29% shooting. Those numbers will both go up after Thursday night's performance. A second-round pick by the Lakers in June, James checked into the season opener to briefly play alongside his father LeBron James, becoming the first father-son duo to ever share the court in NBA history. Bronny James has appeared in 7 games for Los Angeles and has scored in 2 of them. Anonymous NBA exec thinks Kings could be in LeBron James trade conversations. Trade rumors about the Los Angeles Lakers are no surprise. But, this time, there's speculation that they could trade away their star rather than looking to acquire one. Those current speculative conversations are centered around a potential LeBron James trade. One anonymous NBA source mentioned the Sacramento Kings as an intriguing potential landing spot for one of the greatest players ever. Could the Kings try and go after the King? Heavy Steve Bulpett reported there has been speculation of late that the Lakers might be willing to bite the bullet and be open to trading James, but that's going to be his call ultimately. A league exec believes that is becoming increasingly realistic. With most teams around the league dealing with heavy restrictions due to the limitations that come with being in the first or second aprons, only so many placed could make sense for LeBron James. Bulpett's story includes an anonymous quote from an NBA executive who believes Sacramento belongs in the LeBron James trade conversations. "The one place that I don't hear a lot of talk about with LeBron is Sacramento," he said. He could change them, and they might have the kind assets to make a trade work. They have a lot of young talent, and because they're a small market, they haven't spent like drunken sailors. They have some draft picks, a young talent. If they could get to the salary LeBron would take, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and elevate the hell out of them, particularly Fox. With that threesome, those guys could be a force. Lakers stuck again on LeBron James' hamster wheel by the anonymous executive also thinks the superstar could live in LA and play in Sacramento, no doubt about it, if that were his preference. After this season, LeBron James has 1 year remaining on his contract, a $52.6 million player option. Obviously, it would take Sacramento general manager Monte McNair offering an enticing package, possibly including one of Keegan Murray or DeMar DeRozan headed to the Lakers, along with the necessary draft capital. Who knows how LeBron James would feel about joining the Kings, and if the team in California's capital would be interested in trading for the 39-year-old. But it's an interesting hypothetical to consider. The NBA trade season is clearly growing near. Brendan Nunes, Frankie Cardicelli, and Chris Watkins present another edition of the Return of the Roar podcast, this time discussing the Sacramento Kings starting to catch a rhythm over the last 4 games. Averaging 127 points over the last 5 games, the guys broke down what's been working during their offensive explosion. How much of it has to do with head coach Mike Brown deciding to move Malik Monk into the starting lineup, and what other trickle-down effects have come from that decision? Also, Coach Brown's tone has changed over the last few days. The trio dove into what he's been emphasizing and his methods of communicating that through the media. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of LeBron James? Leave your opinion in the comments.